Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our continuation coverage of college football 2024 Power 5 preview. We just finished the ACC preview. Now we're going to move on to the SEC. Disclaimer, again, we are watching Florida State and Georgia Tech play in Ireland 0-0. Week 0. It is 21-21 with 4 minutes left in the game. Georgia Tech is a massive underdog in this game, and they have the ball and are driving. So if we have random outbursts, I apologize, but
I'm not apologizing for anything.
Football's back.
Football season is back. It's week 0. Some of us have been waiting in the wings forever for this opportunity. Feel blessed and highly favored to be here, and hope and praying that Florida State blows their very first game of the season to Georgia Tech. So I'm not responsible for anything I say. I'm not responsible for my emotions. You should do just like me. Pour, drink, and enjoy yourself. That's what I'm about to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, with the SEC, same format that we do all of them. We did HBCU. We've done ACC. We will also do We'll finish up SEC today. We'll also do Big 10 and Big 12. So be on the lookout for all of those videos dropping. And then we'll also do the NFL preview very, very soon. With that being said, man, we talked about it basically in all of the Power 5, there's conference realignment. SEC added Texas and Oklahoma. Boom.
I'm happy real football is back. We've had to talk about all the rest of these teams and these JV squads and these high school teams. SEC football. Big SEC football. Welcome Oklahoma. Welcome Texas. Grab a seat. Grab a dance partner. It's finna turn up. I'm excited about all of this. Where do you want to begin?
All right. So conference preview. We have here we go. So we have the SEC. We talked about the teams that they've added. This is the geographical location. I added the same thing at ACC. As you can see, bottom left, Texas A&M and Texas are still next to each other. Oklahoma was added. So it really doesn't make a big difference geographically like it does in the ACC. A lot of these teams, especially the Texas teams and Oklahoma teams, are in the Big 12. So they're right next to each other anyway, and they're going to play each other. Start out with the power rankings. Georgia's 1, Texas 2, Alabama 3. Oh, it's a minute 58 seconds left with Georgia Tech with the ball. 2nd and 7. Ole Miss 4, Missouri 5, Tennessee 6, LSU 7, Oklahoma 8, which is the left side. I did not do this on purpose. But if you
allegedly
look at this is not my graphic, but if you look at every,
you found it on purpose. You got a thing.
If you look at every rankings that we do, the left side is always a dogfight. That legit. Right side,
wrong. Left, legit, right, wrong.
So we can start there, man.
No
so
different.
let's start 2023 recap. Bama upsets Georgia in the SEC championship game. Bama makes it to the college football playoff as the 4th team. Georgia, defending national champion, 2-time national champion, undefeated regular season, loses by a field goal, doesn't get a chance to even go to the college football playoff. So they feel like they're snubbed already. They then go to the Orange Bowl and even add more fire to the snub argument by beating Florida State 66-3. We thought that was going to be the talk of the offseason, that Georgia and Alabama coming back. And then Nick Saban just pops up and retires and said, you know what, I'm tired. I'm out of here.
Real quick. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of the NIL, the NFL. All y'all go to hell. I'm going to get a job.
And that's what he did. He went and left, got a job, and got 2 jobs. Left 1 job, got 2. One with the same employer, with the same office, in the same stadium, at the same address. And then he just flies out that's paid for by the other job. To go
with a ton of money.
With a lot of money. That's really, if you think about, let's pause right there for a second. Let's examine that. Nick Saban left the corporate job, retired, went back to the corporate job as a contractor, essentially, got all the same perks and the same money, then went and got a second job to pay for the travel to go do the second job on TV and gets money and gets to get flown out to all the big games for free.
It's almost our favorite time of the year, Juke season.
Juke season.
And you know what I love about this? Because I just think he's a W-2 employee, and he has 2 jobs. So do they hit on the same week? And him and Miss Jerry just spending money, or do you get paid every other week? So you get a check every week.
Bruh, I don't even think he getting paid so much money and Ben getting paid so much money. He don't see no check. He got a financial advisor or somebody that's like, look, as long as my black card still swipes, we good to go.
That wire's still hitting on Fridays, though. I'll be like, oh, I can pay every week one of these jobs.
Can you imagine getting paid $1 million, $2 million, or $10 million a year from both jobs, and you get paid every week?
And I just go when I want to. Because let's be real, if he don't feel like it, I'm not up to it this week.
I'm not gonna be there. Don't ask me no questions.
Yeah.
And I won't tell you no lies. Like I ain't gonna do nothing. Don't ask me nothing. Were you here today? As far as you're concerned, my statue is right out there. I'm here every day. I'm here every day because my statue is there.
Y'all should be happy to have me on any day I show up to this. I'm gonna be real. But yeah, I'm happy for him. He's put a lot of pressure on that program. I'm interested to see where they go and how they get there.
Yeah. The big games, the SEC. I will say, from this realignment and the ability to have 12 teams in the playoff, they planned this out very, very well. They being college football, all the board members, all that stuff. Because these conferences have big games immediately now. Notre Dame at Texas A&M. That's a big game. Texas at Michigan. Georgia at Texas. Georgia at Alabama. Tennessee at Oklahoma. Ole Miss at LSU. Georgia at Ole Miss. Texas at Texas A&M. Plus you have your regular rivalries of Auburn, Alabama, Alabama, Ole Miss, Florida, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, LSU, Alabama. Texas A&M. I said that earlier. This is going to be an insane first down, Georgia Tech. This is going to be an insane football season in the SEC this year. Insane.
There's so many things. This is proper execution given the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. This is the best conference of football that's not NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It's more interesting than quite a few divisions in the NFL. They nailed this. And people are going to be mad, but you're probably going to get 3 or 4 out of the 12 out of here.
Wow. Yeah, only because you have to play yourself. Like the SEC plays itself so much. Like you're going to, like Georgia, Alabama's going to have to, like somebody's going to have to lose between Georgia, Texas, and Alabama because they all play each other twice. So somebody's going to have to lose something.
Well, the thing is, you ready to get into these teams? I'm ready.
Let's go. So you got the new look SEC. You got key transfers, which is a big deal. Texas A&M got the coach from Duke. He's there. He's a defensive guru. Got the former Big Ten sack leader to go there from Purdue. South Carolina, Ole Miss. Ole Miss had the best transfer portal class of the transfer era by far. They did lose their running back, but they
stole our player.
They stole y'all player, and then Texas A&M took a step back because of Jimbo left. So remember Jimbo had that historic 2021 class, and they got all of them players. They got all of them.
I'm saying now all seasons. They stole our kicker.
They stole everything. Well, I said they was in the portal. I just said hello. I ain't had to do nothing. She wanted to come with me.
She's single, right? I slid in the DM. She texts back. She kiki. Next thing you know, she with me.
But Ole Miss with the defensive end from Florida is a big deal, and then Georgia getting Florida's running back Trevor Etienne is a big deal. Those are probably the best 2 transfers that I've seen.
Yeah. So think about that, Billy Napier. You bum. The 2 biggest transactions out of SEC came out of your team. Both headed to much better situations.
Yep. Yeah. So I think those key transfers, there's too many. See, in HBCU, we could talk about the key players and all Americans and all of that stuff because there's only like 8 to 10 per team at the most. If you had 11, you was doing it.
Not here.
Not
Everywhere.
here in the
Everybody
SEC.
got them.
It's 30. Georgia has 30. You can only play 22 starters. They have 30 players on the preseason players list. 30. So it's only so much.
So Georgia, let me go ahead and get this out for the start of the season. Fuck you. I hate you. I wish you nothing but losses and struggle, pain and strife. But this is the best team in the conference. I'm gonna tell you right now, nothing but pain and strife. I do have questions about Carson Beck and what is he? How good a quarterback is he? Is he Matt Stafford or is he Stetson Bennett?
Well, before we get into teams, let me ask you this: you got coaches on the hot seat. You got new coaches. Coach at Texas A&M. Kentucky is on probation now. I have the coaches on the hot seat really in this climate. Billy Napier from Florida, Sam Pittman from Arkansas. The 12 and 13 slot, I think they are all Vanderbilt they don't have any expectations. Nobody's going to keep up with him. Auburn is still breaking in a new coach in Hugh Freeze. Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri, LSU seem to be straight. I would probably throw Tennessee in there just because if they have another bad season, Tennessee, Florida, Arkansas, I could see some changes coming soon if somebody comes available.
So Florida, for sure. Billy Napier, cut the shit. Cut that guy, get rid of him and Graham Mertz. I'm ready for Billy to be fired. It's not an if for me. I think it's more of a win for me. So I 100% agree there. Arkansas, you can be mad. You can want to fire your coach all you want to. What are you going to get better? And whatever coach you get, you're not going to be better than your lot in life right now. You're going to be a right side team. You'll be 9-16 no matter what you do. Period.
If it wasn't for the money, they should have. If it wasn't for the money, they should go to the Big 12 because they would be better in the Big 12. But there's too much money in the SEC.
Calipari, you need to Arkansas. Worry about basketball. Congratulations. Worry about yourself.
Kentucky,
Tennessee,
Kentucky, and Arkansas just switch places. That's all they are.
Correct. No, well, Kentucky and Ole Miss are two in the same to me. They're both just playing to play spoiler for one of the guys who really matter. We know that you don't have enough to get it done and get to the playoff and win a championship. But the best thing that you could do is probably beat Georgia or Texas or Alabama. That's the victory to you. And that's my biggest thing with both of them is, can you get to the level where we believe you're one of the top three? And Ole Miss, I just don't believe you. Tennessee, I don't believe in Ole Miss.
So you don't believe in any other coaches? You think those are the only coaches on the hot seat, those three? Tennessee, Florida, and Arkansas?
I really think it's just Billy. I think that Tennessee will be because they won't have a good season and they have a reasonable schedule. So if you don't end up getting it done, then they're going to look at you like, if you can't get it done with a reasonable schedule, then we'll just move on again. They just feel like a program consistently in flux since Phil Fulmer.
I just don't think they'll be able to get anybody better.
That's the.
So, all right. So we know the coach is on the hot seat. I look for Billy. The only thing that would save Billy is if he were to win an improbable game, because he's going to get leeway for having the hardest schedule in the nation. He's going to get, unless a player goes in and says, I don't like him, it's either him or me, like DJ Lagway, then it's not going to happen. But now if they go 0-11 or like it starts off bad,
I don't think they go 0-11, but there's a potential for them to get whooped multiple times. And you take two or three 21-point losses,
yeah,
they're going to cut bait with you, and they're going to try to cut bait with you and see if they can salvage the relationship between DJ Lagway because he's so good. Let's not let everything walk out of the door here. Let's let Lagway, hey, we'll make you the cornerstone.
He missed
of
it.
the future of our team.
Oh no! They still got the ball. Okay.
Yeah. They will make you the cornerstone of this team, and we will find a coach that specifically fits for you, and this offense go in a different
Steven
direction.
Spurrier. Just
Oh,
go
and
get him for like 6 months. Just right the ship. I just need you to right the ship.
I'm gonna tell you the guy who I don't want, but I feel like the guy who would do a lot.
Who?
Deion Sanders. Deion
At Florida?
Sanders. Yes.
That would be a troll.
You know that he has beef with Florida State. There's not a soul on this planet that can recruit that area better than him. And I cannot believe Georgia Tech.
Yep. Georgia Tech.
And that would really, I mean, Miami isn't good. Florida State is struggling with Georgia Tech. Florida could come in and hijack the state of Florida, and he could recruit his ass off. And he would have all the money in the world, and there's probably not a better job available. And you could get DJ Lagway. You start with that. And you could get out of Colorado when your sons get out of there.
It would be a good look. Well, listening to you, I don't know if Florida has. Well, I mean, yeah, you already had Steve Spurrier, so you got the stomach for a big personality. Like,
we are a big personality. That school would love, and they would be able to stick it to Florida State. Like, oh, look at your guy. We got your guy.
Yeah, that would be a good look. So let's go through it. You have, wow, they got back in field goal range. You have Georgia ranked number 1 in the power rankings, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri, Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma in the top 8. Who do you have winning the SEC so far? You already know who I'm going to pick.
Yeah, Georgia at the top, Texas, Alabama. I don't know why LSU is at 7. I think the LSU deserves. I don't care. I'm telling you right now, LSU, Ole Miss, and Bama should be right at the same place to me. That is a really interesting 3-dog fight right there. And whoever can execute consistently is going to have the opportunity. Now, the thing that Alabama doesn't have is they got the pressure and the expectation and the new coach. Ole Miss, I don't think is just serious enough, but I think that Brian Kelly and his experience and a team that just recruits their ass off, I think the LSU is my sleeper for the LSU. I mean, sleeper of the conference, and I think they're a playoff team.
So my sleeper for the conference is not LSU. I think LSU is underrated because of quarterback. One thing that always happens, 5 seconds left. All right, so we're going to press resume. All right, we're going to get back to the SEC. What were we talking about? We were talking about sleepers. So you said your sleeper team was LSU?
Louisiana State University.
I don't think they're a sleeper. I think they're just getting penalized because Jaden Daniels left and they lost Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas. But they have so many. They are so stacked. Brian Kelly has done a really good job recruiting offense down there. And then you got Harold Perkins Jr. in defense. I think they're just criminally underrated. I don't think they're a sleeper. My sleeper team is Missouri. Missouri may have the best wide receiver core in the SEC with Luther Burden, Theo Weiss, and a couple other players that transferred. Eli Drinkwitz, their coach, good coach. They play Georgia tough every year, and they beat somebody every year. At this point, they beat, and no shade, but not intentional. They beat Florida now. They're expected to beat Florida. They're expected to beat Kentucky. Before, Missouri and Kentucky was like, I don't know who's going to win. Missouri's going to give it a good effort against Florida. Missouri, they are firmly entrenched as the second best team in the SEC East. Well, the old SEC East. They are firmly entrenched. I think
Oh,
they're better than Tennessee. I think they're better than Florida. I think they're better than Kentucky. I think they're better than Vanderbilt. I think if you add Auburn, I think they're better than Auburn. I think they are the second best team in what is called the old SEC East. And I think that's my sleeper pick, Missouri. And I think they could lose one or two games because they could lose to Georgia because they have the easiest schedule. They have the easiest schedule to make it to the playoff. You don't have to go to the SEC championship game. You assume you lose to Georgia, and then you get in as an at-large. Yeah, so as I was saying, Missouri has the easiest path to the college football playoff. They have an easy schedule. I don't think they play Georgia or Alabama or Texas or Oklahoma. I don't think they play any of those four teams. No, I'm sorry. They play Georgia. That's it. And then, assuming Georgia is who we think they are, you don't even have to go to the SEC championship game. So now you could get in as an at-large, especially if you're 11-1, 10-2 in the SEC. They're going to give you that.
I don't trust this team at all. I think
that's why they're a sleeper.
But this is the thing. These are also teams I think could lose to Florida, could lose to Tennessee, and I think they lose to LSU and Georgia and Kentucky. I think that I have them after Ole Miss and Kentucky. That's where I have Missouri.
No, see, I got Missouri beating. I got them beating Texas A&M, Auburn. Oh, they play Alabama. I have them losing to Alabama. I have them losing to Georgia.
Who?
I lied. They don't play Georgia. They play Alabama this year. That's the difference. Missouri. They don't play Georgia.
Right, Lord Jesus.
They don't play Georgia. The only team that they play that's difficult is going to be Oklahoma, Alabama. Oklahoma and Alabama. Otherwise, they play Auburn. They play South Carolina. They play Mississippi State, and they play Arkansas. They have the easiest path to get to the college football playoff. They do.
Will trick off. This is a team that'll also do something like lose to Texas A&M. They will do something.
You can't do that.
And no, I don't. I put them in the same category of Missouri, Tennessee. Actually, it's Ole Miss, Kentucky, Missouri, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. I put all of those guys right there together. Yeah. I think that Oklahoma's biggest issue is their schedule is treacherous. They got a schedule about as bad as Florida. So I think that they're just going to lose a ton of games. Tennessee, I just don't trust you. I don't think that the program is stable enough and they're moving in the right direction to approach Kentucky or Ole Miss. Missouri, you can show me. I'm open to being wrong, but I don't think that Missouri and LSU are in the same conversation.
Shit.
It's unfortunate because that's a game I'd actually like to see. I think that LSU.
Boy. Now LSU will clearly have the better defense, but I'm telling you, Missouri's offense is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
Missouri is a team that I would feel comfortable to. That'd be the game that Florida will win. Just a stupid game.
The game y'all not supposed to win. That'd be the save Billy Napier. They be like 9-0, and then Florida wins.
Oh, you remember when they beat Mizzou? Who cares about Mizzou? It's not a credible win. Oh, yeah, we went down there and beat the Tigers, LSU? No, Missouri. And go to hell.
So your sleeper is LSU. Mine is Missouri. I would like to see us. That would be a good sleeper game, Missouri and LSU. All right, conference championship game. Who you got?
Georgia and Texas. I think that Georgia is just head and shoulders above everybody else as far as athletes, players, all of the above. And they have Kirby Smart, who is new Nick Saban.
Did you freeze?
Texas has we both did. Texas has a ton of players. and they have a relatively easy schedule. I feel more confident in their schedule and their amount of players. Alabama, I got them at a close third. The thing for Alabama is the pressure. I don't know if the team. I don't know what Doe is going to do with the pressure. Those are really, really, really big shoes to fill. And I don't. It's rare that you have a guy come in after something like that and just take off.
So, championship game, I'm going to go Georgia, obviously. But this new format makes a big deal. Because, as I said with the scheduling, they've got everybody playing everybody almost. Missouri and Alabama, Texas and Oklahoma, Texas and Georgia, Georgia and Texas, Georgia and Alabama, Ole Miss and Alabama, Ole Miss and Oklahoma, Ole Miss and Georgia. Like Tennessee, Georgia, the top 8 teams, I think they all play at least 3 other teams in the top 8 of the 16.
But see, that's the reason I love Texas. You're going to beat Colorado State. I don't think that Michigan is ready to bounce back. Texas San Antonio is a joke. Louisiana Monroe is the worst football team in
Oklahoma.
in that conference. Mississippi State is terrible. I think the Oklahoma will be whooped by then because their schedule is so tough. They'll be done.
To play
you
Texas?
Could still
they played them September. They played them in 3 weeks.
No, they played them October 12th.
Texas. Oh, that's Tennessee, Oklahoma.
Yeah. You're going to lose to Georgia. You can beat Vandy. You should beat Florida, especially at that point in the season. Florida's another team that should have been destroyed by then.
Oh, I disagree with your point about Tennessee and about Texas and Oklahoma. I disagree with that. The hardest game that Oklahoma will play before October 12th will either be Tennessee or Auburn. And they get both of them.
I can see.
No, they go to Auburn. They get Tennessee at home, 15-16. I think Oklahoma goes into the game against Texas on October 12th. Texas and Oklahoma. Texas is a 1-loss team. Oklahoma is undefeated. And then we get chaos. One thing we gonna get in this SEC season, we gonna get
it's gonna shake up. It's gonna shake up, and it's gonna shake up right around the same time. I guess you're right.
October 12th, that October 12th or whatever game, the October game, where Georgia, Texas, it's Georgia, Alabama. It's crazy. So Texas,
I mean, if you really look at it,
yeah, it's gonna be a 7-1, 6-0 team, 6-0 kind of game.
They beat Temple, beat Houston, beat Tulane. You better not lose to Tennessee. Better not lose to Auburn. You could lose to Texas, beat Carolina. I think the Ole Miss beats them. And then Missouri. Ooh.
Yeah, and then you get to the
Missouri, end. Bama, LSU. And if you're lucky enough to win all of these games, then you get the SEC championship.
Yeah. Oklahoma's treacherous. So you got Georgia, Texas.
They're gonna make it. They're gonna be a decent team, but they're just gonna. LSU and Alabama is the last 2 games of your season, and then maybe hell no! Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Period. I don't want no parts of that.
I got Georgia because I think Georgia beats every team they play on the right. I think they play Auburn. I think they play Florida. I think they play South Carolina. They play Mississippi State. I think they beat all those teams.
Man, Georgia is – we don't need to talk about Georgia until it's time to talk about the playoffs. We just need to talk matchups. If Georgia doesn't – all you have – you just got to do your job. If you can't do your job, then go home. And you've been afforded everything that you need to do your job. It's really – Texas, Alabama, LSU. Those are the 3 teams fighting for number 2.
Ole Miss.
I don't think that they know how to get to that next level. I think that they're just going to
too, though.
They're perpetual little brother to me. Look at us. We beat somebody. Okay. Are you going to compete for a championship? Nah, that's not really our thing. I don't think they got it in them.
So I got Georgia and I want to say Texas, but Texas is that schedule ain't no joke now. You just went
They
through
got
it.
them players though. They got.
I'll say Georgia and Texas. Georgia and Texas would be a good game. That would be a rematch, and it's hard to beat a team twice in one season. It's hard to do that. But if Georgia is as good
That'll
as we
be
think
good
they are,
that'll be great for the conference too. Great for the conference.
So then who you got winning, Georgia or Texas?
Bro, stop asking me questions, yo. You know it's Georgia. I hate that I have to watch
Texas
this.
Too.
I hate everything about this. I just hope that the only thing I can really hope for, even my notes are fuck them. What is Carson back? And they have an easy schedule. There's no answer to this. Thoughts and prayers. Something goes wrong. For them, they do.
They play Texas, Ole Miss, and Alabama. Those are the other three good teams that we're looking at. They play all three of them, plus Tennessee and Missouri. No, they'll play Missouri and Tennessee.
But I think that gives them an opportunity to punch. Like they get to punch Texas in the mouth. Hey, I'm gonna let you know I'm the big kid on the block here early. Ole Miss, just little like they're just the perpetual littlest of brothers. They're the Carlton of college football to me. And Georgia is Will Smith. And you're just trying to be relevant, but it's just not a thing. It's not your thing.
Yeah, I think so. You got Georgia winning. I think Trevor Etienne puts us over the top. I think that plus bringing in the wide receiver from Miami. We already had a bunch of possession receivers, but we were missing like the big play, go up and get it receiver that we always have every year. A.D. Mitchell. We had two players before that come in, Sims. So we got that now. What I'm worried about with Georgia, though, I ain't going to lie to you. I don't trust Bobo. I've never trusted Bobo. I said it last year. I said Bobo's going to get right on by until we got to the SEC championship game, and all of a sudden, players is looking at the offensive coordinator like, what the hell are we doing? Like, because now Bobo's tricking it off. If he messes up
with Trevor Etienne, he's stupid.
He's king trick him off. We got the number one. We have the biggest offensive line in the nation. We have a Heisman Trophy first round candidate just at quarterback. Then we got Jaden Rashada at backup quarterback, who has pretty much solidified himself as the number 2. We got Trevor Etienne. We have DBs. We got probably the top 3 safety in Malachi Starks. Good corners. Our linebackers are crazy. Mike Bobo, I need you to look at me in the face right now. Mike Bobo, don't mess this up. Don't get cute. Stop calling them stupid ass, Madden looking plays.
Get very cute. Get very demure.
Bro, go and study under Ty Monken, bro. This is 2 years. Last year, we gave you a little bit of the pass because we tried to keep it with Ty Monken because his playbook was so crazy. You got a whole offseason now of your own playbook plus Ty Monken. And we got offensive linemen galore. They're projecting us to have 23 first-round picks. 23 draft picks this year. 23 draft picks. Don't screw this up. This should be a methodical season. This should just be chopping wood, going right down the season. It's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen because it's Mike Bobo. It's Mike Bobo.
One thing I'm sure of is Trevor Etienne is an unbelievable football player. Unbelievable football player. He was an unbelievable football player on a bad team with a poorly schemed offense. I want you to hear that. Yes. On a bad team with a poorly schemed offense, he still rose, still dominated. And now he gets to be the RB1 with the best offensive line in the SEC. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing but W's. And I'm telling you, just like I'm presently dancing on the graves of Florida State, I will do the same for you, presented with the opportunity. I will
expect
love nothing
less.
more.
It stings less though, because I've been to the promised land twice. Now I'm good. You can dance on the grave all you want to now. It's okay. It's okay. We beat a team so bad they changed the format immediately. They said, you know what? We will never have Georgia TCU in the national championship game again, ever. Ever. We'll put everybody in there. They're going from 12 to 16.
I get frustrated about doing stupid stuff like that because no, play a decent regular season schedule and then we won't have this. But now you know when you're gonna get these games, it's smart what they did. You'll never have this for a national championship game. This will be the semifinals. Now you'll see them get whooped early. All the UCFs, the TCUs, the Baylors. Yeah, come on down here and get your ass kicked good ass kickings. Send you right back to that school that nobody cares about.
All right, so we both got Georgia.
We'll print
Texas.
up our own national championship banner because we went undefeated. Oh no, get your asses play off of 12 and get monkey stomped. We're gonna ruin your recruiting.
How many teams make it to the playoffs? How many teams make it to the playoffs?
Georgia, check. Texas, check. Alabama, check. LSU, check. I think 4. I don't know if it's those 4 teams. I think they play too much to all make it. Those are the top 4 teams in SEC. And I think that, yes, a quarter of this is SEC. And I think if you look at it, they're a quarter of the top 12 teams.
I think Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Ole Miss, Missouri, Ole Miss or Missouri, LSU. Ooh. I think you get 5 teams.
Oh, hell no.
And I think it's really between those 4 for the last. I'm sorry, you get 4 teams, and it's between 4 teams for the last 2 spots. I think you're gonna, there's really 3 teams for 1 spot. I think Georgia, Texas, and Alabama are gonna make it, just off the strength. That Ole Miss, Missouri, LSU is going to be interesting. And you could probably really that 4 through 8, if y'all are watching it, we got the power rankings up. 1 through 3 is set. That 4 through 8 of Ole Miss, Missouri, Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma is going to be the last playoff spot for the SEC. So they're going to get 4 teams, and it's going to be a fight.
Yeah, so like right now, top 12, you got Missouri,
told you,
Ole Miss, Bama, Texas, Georgia.
5 of the top
5.
12. Mm-hmm. And Oklahoma got to be about 14.
Tennessee is 13. No. LSU is 13. Tennessee is 15. Oklahoma 16.
Yeah. So 8 of the top 16.
Texas A&M 20. Yeah. So
9 of the top 20. I mean,
you probably should get 5.
You could get 4 to 5 teams. But if that happens, that means I'm going to let y'all know right now. If they get 5 teams, that means this right side of the bracket over here does absolutely nothing. That Texas A&M.
What? We can go ahead and take ACC. You lucky to get 1 now. Sit that ass on down, big dog. Florida State. Don't look like you'll be going. Clemson got to carry the conference.
Clemson is, so in the way I thought about it, and we got it. So once we finish the Big 10 and Big 12, we're going to do our final projected college football playoff predictions, the bracket. In my preliminary bracket, I didn't have Florida State. No, I'm sorry. I did have Florida State, but I only had Florida State. I didn't have an ACC at large. So at this point, you're right. Clemson is the only team that can necessarily make it unless Florida State wins out.
Oh, no. Florida State finna get tried consistently every week going forward.
You lost Georgia Tech. Y'all lost to Georgia Tech.
Man, you better go over and build me a house and talking to me crazy. Build a bridge. Do something. Be delivered.
Hey, get over it.
But Yeah. Yeah, Florida State, you still got to play Clemson. Now, that will be extremely problematic. Florida State goes and beats Clemson and Miami. I guess they will probably be back in it.
They will win out. They have to win out. They can't lose. You can't lose to Georgia Tech and make the playoffs. You can't lose to Georgia Tech and nothing. Make the playoffs.
Said
There's no dot after you lose to Georgia Tech. That should be one dot. Period.
And
nothing else you can do.
I know it. And I know if I'm SMU, this is my shot. You know that game is probably going to be on TV. And on top of that, I got the opportunity to really solidify myself by beating a college football blue blood. So, yeah, let me beat Florida State. Hey, yeah. Notre Dame definitely going to try to whoop y'all, too.
They played Notre Dame. That is another. I forgot. ACC really might not get anybody because you have Notre Dame. And the Big Ten, which we'll get to later, they have so many teams as well. It really might be tight on the ACC. It really might be tight on the ACC. Like, for real tight.
You got one. So, yeah, SEC, I got 5. ACC, I have it 1. Then, yeah, you could get 4 out of the Big 10, 2 out of the Big 12, and you're done.
Big 10, you got to assume the Big 12 is going to give you Utah. Let's say Utah wins the Big 12. We'll get there. We're not talking. This is just, we're literally in shock that Georgia Tech beat Florida State. And it's just thrown everything that we had notes on and everything that we talked about is just in haywire. It's haywire. So you got Utah out of the Big 12.
Best team in Florida. Who?
Then you get at large bids, so you're gonna get a Power 5 at large, which is gonna be somebody. We'll say Boise State. Then you have the 5 teams from the SEC, and you throw in Notre Dame. That's 9 out of 12. You got to throw Oregon in there in the Big 10. You got to throw Ohio State in there, or Michigan, Ohio State or Michigan. That's 10, 11. And then Notre Dame. It ain't a lot of space for you to mess up as we've been talking. Now that we kind of go through this, it really is not a lot of space for you to like screw up, especially week 1 or week 0. This ain't even week 1. Y'all lost in a placeholder week. Y'all lost a week 0.
And you lost such a stupid game. You lost a stupid game because, no offense to Georgia Tech, but they just don't garner that level of respect. And if I look at this game, you're never in control. You were beat, and not
they were beat from
not beat.
Yep,
not beat like you lost. You were beat like they controlled you the whole game, and you don't look like a ranked team right now.
Yeah, it looks bad. It looked bad. I will say, and we'll talk about it some more. Of course, we're back. So, but Georgia Tech, Florida State looked amazing on the first drive. They looked amazing. And then Georgia Tech looked amazing right back. And I was like, uh-oh.
The only thing that you can pray for is that Georgia Tech looks like this for the rest of the season.
Yeah, they can't get. You gotta help them. You gotta beat up every opponent that y'all having. You gotta beat. If they play Virginia and you play Virginia, you better hurt the whole team.
You better be the biggest Georgia Tech Ramblin' Wreck cheerleader I've ever. You better. Hey, if I catch you, you better be in a Calvin Johnson jersey or a Stephon Marbury jersey. You better find a way to, because you need them. Y'all are linked. And if they have success, then maybe you could just be like, yes. Yes. You like Speed and Casanine. Y'all, hey. Right there together. Oh, not that part. No, I wasn't even talking about that. I mean, but yeah. Y'all in there together. Know that. Whoa. Funny or not funny, the truth is the truth, and sometimes it hurts. But for sure, y'all better hope that I guess you could hope to see them again in the ACC championship.
Yeah. I'm utterly shocked. Let's put a bow on this. We can come back to it. Georgia versus Texas. Georgia wins. SEC gets 45 teams in. That's Correct. The way we look at it.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have finished our SEC and ACC discussion. You've come to the end of the show. Please like, follow, subscribe. Nor if we miss anything, take us to the next one. What is it? Big 10, Big 12 next, right?
Take us wherever the hell we want to go. We want to go anywhere except for where Florida State went. And that's to the losers column. You're sorry. You're terrible. Oh, I feel so good. No, I'm going to have a moment here for myself. We competing for the best team in Florida, and you is behind us already. All we got to do is continue to play the games and lose the games we need so we can fire Billy Napier, and y'all can still be terrible. This gives me best case scenario. I get a new coach, and the teams in Florida struggle right alongside. Maybe everybody fire their coach. Maybe it's just whole new state, whole new coaching staff for everybody. Control, delete the whole state. UCF, South Florida, Florida Atlantic, Florida International, everybody gets new coaches. How about that? We can be, they say misery loves company. Well, grab a motherfucking seat.
All right. Well, y'all stay tuned there. We'll be right back with our Big 12, Big 10. Thank you. Remember, follow, subscribe. We're coming back Monday Night Raw for our live reactions to the football season, of course. Really just reaction to the Falcons. And then we'll probably keep taping some of these as opposed to doing as many lives because we can do it as more of a premiere, which I kind of like. With that being said, hey, chaos!
Hey, man, y'all might maybe put my Florida jersey on, man. I'm feeling good right now. There he is.
Chaos is amongst us.
Reggie,
chaos is here.
And Elmo. Yo, this it right here. This a hell of a trio. This. Look at us. Look at us.
Oh my God. But hey, man, welcome.
Florida State.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all. We are out of here.